you start to notice that sales is almost everything in the retail environment. You start to go for a lot of the sales training provided the company, or even you get an external trainer to train on your sales team. Okay, or rather your team, you yourself. Okay, so you always hear words like this. In sales, you must always know this simple formula. Okay, now which is what I was actually being trained. When I was actually as a retail staff, my retail manager told me that, Daryl, regardless how how long have you been in the retail industry, so long as you work in retail, you must know this formula. Sales equals to number of transactions times average transaction value returning customer. Okay, or rather the number of returning customer. Okay, so I repeat. Sales equals to the number of transactions times average transaction value times the number of returning customers. Okay, so you must remember that. And what can you do? Okay, so for those who are not familiar, here's a little overview how you can work on it. Now, if you have a piece of paper, I strongly encourage you to jot these numbers down. Okay, as this is actually live, it's a bit challenging for me to put in a bit. So I want you to get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write this number down. So are you ready? Here it goes. So let's assume that you have, we talk about per month. Okay, let's talk about per month. For that whole month, you have about 200 transactions. Okay, 200 transactions, and each transaction is $100. Okay, $100 for 200 transactions. How much would you get? Yeah, I mean it's oh yeah, and also the number of number of returning customers is only one. Let's assume that. So how much do you get? You get about 20,000. Okay, just $20,000. Am I right? Good. What you can notice is that there are basically 3 different elements, and in most sales training, they'll actually ask you that if you want to actually increase your number of customers, okay, say from number of transactions from 200 to, let's say, make it an extra 100, 300. What do you get? Same, 200 times 100 times 1 equivalent to 30,000. Or you just adjust the 100 to like 150, just an additional $50 item just add into the bill. Okay, assuming you 200 times 150 times what they call 1, you will get about 30,000. Same. Or you can also increase the number of returning customer from 1 to 2. Okay, assuming you have 200 times 100 times 2, you get about 40,000. Or may actually go for a higher price item, you upsell, cross-sell them, ensure at the end of the day the number of transactions is increased, or maybe you can make a customer bring more friends or just come back one more time. Even the same customer, you will get an increase of sales. That's how you increase your sales. Okay, so it looks very logical in a way. Now the question is that, is it really that's all it is to it? I mean, if you're in sales, we understand that there's a lot of other factors. Okay, now let's look at a little bit broader. We come back to the 3 elements. Okay, so we talk about and how many are you into a customer or a buyer. All right, that actually takes skills and is not about how good the staff is able to converse, but rather how well is your marketing, how attractive is the offer, and many other factors. But let's talk about these 2 parts, okay? The external and the internal part. External, I always refer to things related to the store or products. For example, okay, your store location, your offer, your new launch product, all these comes back to the external part. If we are talking only on getting more customers, which is about your marketing, okay? Then the internal part, which is the skill. When we talk about good your conversion level, now some they have different levels. Some retailers I know of, They say as long as 12%. That's pretty good. Some say no, we need at least 80%. It's fine. There's no specific guide, but I would say that there's an area that you can always tap into, because these are what we call as missed opportunities. Okay, always remember that anytime a customer walk into the store, 50%, whether is it the attractiveness or something attracts his attention. Okay, now that's just on the number of customers or number of transactions. When we talk about the average transaction value, same, we talk about two areas. The external, which is about the product, the pricing of the product, or how well the product can be upgraded or maybe cross-sell with another item. Are the products available in the store, and many other factors. So these will be referred to the inner part. The store matter. Whereas we talk about the inner part, okay, which is about the stuff, of stuff. How well can they present the item? How well they are able to identify the pain of the customer, especially if you're service-based or your sales process require consultation. For example, the health and beauty. So how do I know which supplement do I have to take? Or maybe how do I know that which shampoo should I take, or whatever it is. So you need to consult people in that way. If you can identify your customer pain, will determine how great your not just conversion, but how high you can sell. Okay, but here's why I always train my people. Not every customer are your customer. Okay, what I mean is that not every customer. Let me just cancel this whole thing.